I'm figuring out the law of attraction and things, but I have to also realize that so I've always been on my spiritual journey, but I was at the beginning of my awakening. Okay, that's being said, right? Of attraction. Like I said, I'm gonna attract everything to me, just how I wanted it. So that's exactly what I did, but I'm at a low vibration. I didn't do any alignment. I did a little bit of alignment work. I did a little bit of sun gazing. I didn't know nothing about moon gazing, star gazing, mirror gazing, working with water. I just knew working with words. You know, I just knew like the very basics, the outskirts of everything. Even when it came to the deities and demons and Egypt and all that, and just the Christianity and where that came from. I was just at the beginning of all this, so I kind of took that, what I kind of learned or what I surfacely learned, what I learned on the surface, and what I pretty much taught myself, and I took that and ran with it at my lower vibration. With that being said, I attracted a lot of shit. I wanted to go back home, figure out who I am, attract my cosmetology license, my shop that I wanted, um, a lot of money, a growing business, a apartment, a car, basically anything and everything that I needed to jumpstart my life. When I got to that, I definitely got to Dallas around the time that I wanted to, incidentally, which is literally, I just woke up one night. I was attracting to me like attracting this to me like crazy. I was using any like I was attracting to this to me like crazy. I would chant all day that these things. Like you would think that I was crazy when I was doing this because I basically was. I was depressed. I was low. I was stressed. I was negative. I was at its lowest. You get what I'm saying? But I was a new mother. Didn't know what the fuck in the fuck. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, like I was saying, I was attracting these things to me on this low vibration. I definitely attracted all these things to me, but these things came. I attract these things to me, but they didn't. They weren't attracted in like the most positive way. So when I came back home to Dallas, I thought my whole family was gonna help me and all this, and they said they were. But even when I think about it, my family never really helped me because they can't really help themselves. You get what I'm saying? But they had such a negative idea about my relationship and this and that, and the decisions I made, and none of these decisions was right. And I guess they thought they could help me. So I went back home, thought they could help me. My mother kind of kicked me out of her and my kids. She kicked us out. I moved in with my dad. Me and my dad never really had a relationship growing up. My mother and dad divorced at a very young age. I kind of got to know my dad very much so. I got to know my dad, the beauty and ugliness of him, and I very much saw a lot of me in him. Because, like I said, I didn't really have a relationship with him, so I got where I understood where a lot of me came from. um, and I'm actually a perfect balance of both my mother and father. Even when it comes to my looks, I actually took all the hybrid looks. If because my mother and father had three of us together, and I'm the middle child, and I actually took all the hybrid traits. And my brother and sister look very much so alike. They have glasses, light skin. I took my mother's hair. They have my father's hair. It's like I took all the hybrid traits. it's, my kids look like my sister. So like I took the hybrid traits, and then my kids got all the dominant traits that came from my other side of the family. It's very weird, uh, very divine. Um, but anyways, keep going on. So that was a whole nother journey within itself, and I call this stage of my life the underworld. Cause this was I literally attracted everything at a low vibration, and then I created an underworld around me. I created a, a hell around me, which I thought was gonna be my heaven, but it became my hell because it brought me back to the light. And I'm not saying to the light like it brought me back to the light just so I can balance my light and my dark and become the godly being I am trying to become. That's as beautiful as I could fucking put it. That's as beautiful as I could fucking put it. You feel me? Um, but yeah. So I call this place the underworld. This part of my life, the underworld. I'm sorry, this timeline. So I kind of attracted all these things to me. So I end up getting out of and my dad doesn't have the best living situation. Another reason why I didn't grow up in his home. But I was in that situation with my kids, which wasn't really cool for me. I ended up getting my own apartment. It's an apartment all in the hood, in the boondocks, in the projects. The inside of my home looks beautiful, beautiful, furnished. I don't know how I got this furniture. It was divine for me to have for that to happen. Fully furnished apartment. I got donated some money. Like it was beautiful. Like I had nothing. All this money came to me. Everything was beautiful, right? This job was basically donated to me. Everything was beautiful. Even with that job, it was a bullshit ass job. I was an assistant. I got licensed as soon as I got down there. It's just all this thing was. I wrote it down in the notebook. I divined for it to happen. I chanted it every day with my depressed ass, and it came. But it came in a low vibration. So when you don't work on yourself, align yourself, work within yourself, work with your white light and your dark light. Educate yourself on everything. Really tap into that shit. Shit happens. You feel me? So like I said, I attracted. It all came with the double standard though. So with all these double standards I already attracted, I decided to even attract the little guy of my little dreams. I definitely attracted him to whatever idea I had up in my head, and it stirred out to whatever demon came up in my face. You feel me? So he was, not to say anything bad about him, like he was a very terrible person, which he kind of was. But he was a beautiful person that turned out fucked up because of fucked up situations and him just being a fucked up person, a fucked up vibration. You know what I'm saying? Just he was the only child. Like it was, like he built himself up to be that way. Because he has his own situations, and then I attracted that within myself with those affirmations I put in, I put out in that low vibration that I was in. So with that being said, I ultimately became a demon my damn self. I actually even became a dancer. Not to talk about dancers, I liked even when I was dancing. Even still to this day, I like how free I felt when I was doing it. How I wasn't ashamed of myself. The beauty in that. So that was definitely a dark time in my life, and I even became a demon my damn self. You know what I'm saying? And this gonna be another video when I talk about um, dark, my dark time and my dark shadow. But I'm gonna just kind of touch on it a little bit. But I became a demon my damn self, and I was a beautiful person. I still was myself, but I was myself in a kind of nasty, twisted way. I wasn't, but like I said, that darkness isn't always bad. That darkness is beauty. It's light and dark. You get what I'm saying? First there was nothing, and then there was something. Then there was light. That's we call something that light, but I mean nothing is something too, if you want to put it that way. Um, so it's shit like that. But I became a dancer, and I love dancing. I love being free. I love the pole. I love the art of it. That was definitely tapping into my creative side. I was definitely a caregiver. Those broken and fucked up and twisted ass people and that very much feminine men that came in those clubs, they were demons themselves. They were fucked up too. They had a lot of feminine energy, and we had to carry a lot of masculine. But they were beautiful people, and I did give them a lot of love, and love did come my way. But with that low vibration, a lot of low shit came my way more. My body started to get sick. I was very skinny. I wasn't eating right. I was just sucked dry. Those men, even in the club, were vampires. The man I chose to get myself involved with, he was very much a vampire. He was more like a parasite. It wasn't, he was, yeah. And it was definitely, he was a narcissistic parasite. And definitely a blood sucking demon. But I attracted that within myself. I attracted that type of dark deity with my low vibrations that I had going on, because I was in the line and I wasn't right. That's what that underworld part of my life was. Even with me putting myself in the 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 area I was putting myself in with me being at the club, anything can attach you. Any type of energy our person can carry, our deity can carry themselves into your home. You get what I'm saying? And uh, at this point, my kids wasn't even living with me anymore. It was like I was going against my own morals, because I felt the situation I was in wasn't safe. Even where I was living at, they was shooting every night at my apartments. I was in my hood. You feel me? Like I knew that place wasn't safe, and then I had to kind of get my kids out of the house because it wasn't safe around where the fuck we was staying. Like And then on top of that shit, I had to work. I was a single mother and I was doing it by myself and I thought I could handle it and all this and that. And with this being said, I needed to see. I saw, with all this being said, I saw how I can attract things into my life. I saw how I can, how strong I actually was, how strong my masculine energy is. My masculine energy can actually outpower a man's energy, and they're supposed to be born with that masculine energy. It definitely, I, which was negative and positive to that. A lot of men were intimidated by me. I had a lot of masculine energy. I was a very dark and strong person. And y'all, I'm 5'6.5", very skinny. I weigh like a good 145. I'm very small. And even back then, I was even smaller, so I was 135. That was a whole 10 pounds taken off me. I used to weigh myself, so I was 135 back then. 145, 155 is when I'm looking, masculine, kind of juicy, like very nice, with a little. But I'm very much still skinny. You could tell by my arms. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that I'm small. My neck, you can see my collarbone. So, but with that being said, I intimidated my ex at the time. I had him to the point to where like we used to play fight and wrestle because he was younger and he wanted to do all that stuff. I didn't like play fight and wrestling with him, and it would annoy me. So then I would start to get serious with him, and so that nigga used to like when we used to have our arguments, our confessions with each other. He used to talk about how he was scared of me and shit. I was like, boy, a little mosquito ass nigga, like calm the fuck down. I'm from Dallas. You gonna be okay? Like whatever. I'm not that strong. I'm not that tough. You all right. And if I am, oh well, bitch, buck up. And he was the type of dude who would like sell drugs and sell cocaine and tow his little guns around and stuff. I thought he was a little tough guy at first, and we actually also became abusive with each other. Like this was a very dark time of my life, y'all. Whew. I'm gonna go into more details when I talk about dark energy and dark magic and stuff, and embracing that dark side of yourself. But yeah, uh, I had him scared of me, and it also spilled into my masculine energy. Also spilled into me trying to overcome that underworld part of my life, which is me coming into the point I am now. Um, I had a lot of masculine energy with my twin flame, and that needed to happen. It caused some clash, and it caused a little clash, but it actually was a growth because it taught me how to control my dark energy. And the way I control my dark energy is with my mind. And I can only do it with my mind through my breaths, through the way I breathe. That's how I control my dark energy. I don't know how y'all do it. I'm still new to this, and that's how I do it. And with the experience that I had, to where I needed to control my dark energy before I do some shit that can land me in jail, I did that, and I controlled it with my breath. Like that's me controlling my dark energy, especially when I'm embracing that side of me, or that side of me is just attached to me and controlling. And I didn't know at that point in time what the fuck that was. For me to do that, that was so empowering, and I knew that I'm back on my spiritual journey. I'm back on the right path. I'm improving myself, and this is me coming out of the underworld, coming back to Puerto Rico, trying to get back on my light to dark balancing path, embracing both sides of me. You know what I'm saying? Because that thin line where those two meet, that void, is where you need to be. Which is a very hard battle with me, especially me coming from what I came from. I came from dark energy. I came from the hood. I came from the tough, the slums. I'm black. Are you be understood? No. It's even harder, especially when you go to a hood school. Hell, you either white, extra white, you're either a super African girl, or you just weird. Like, I never kind of fit in. And that has to do with who I was, my race, my spirituality, the destined place I'm destined to go, all that shit tied in together. So like now on my spiritual journey,